Hello, I am Michelle Jara McKinney, and I am the director of Detroit Sound Conservancy and director of collections. Yep. Detroit Sound Conservancy has what's called a field archivist program, and this is where we go out into the field and we help people who have these wonderful collections either keep the collection in their home, and we show them how to put them in archival folders and how to preserve their collection. Or they let us in there and say, is this archivable? Is that archivable? And we've been doing this process with Bill Foster. So Bill Foster is a very special person in Detroit music, and in fact, several places music, because he also worked in Cleveland. He did some work in New York. He's from Mississippi, and all of these places have contributed to, his vast knowledge base. He really is a national person. I think when I met him, it was back in the '80s, and he had just opened up. He had opened up several other places before he opened up the Serengeti Ballroom, and in that place, he provided a safe space for artists to learn. He had my husband Harold McKinney's jazz workshop there. So they're young teenagers taking a bus coming to this workshop and learning to be fearless and adventurous in their music studies. He also helped established artists because they would come after their gigs and they would come to the jam sessions and they would just wail right along with the young musicians. And there were a lot of connections made of mentorship at the Detroit Serengeti Ballroom.
It was such a treat to meet Bill. We were able to go and work in the archives, and he just is an encyclopedia of jazz, and he's also done so much beside. I mean, we often say, Bill, just tell me things you haven't done and we'll figure it out. And it's just been so exciting. We've been going through his photos and cataloging them, an amazing amount of musicians he's worked with, presented. We found a picture of Betty Carter. It was the last time she sang at the Serengeti, and he had been looking for it, and just learning and enjoying and being around Bill and learning so much and getting to appreciate more and more and learn more about Detroit's jazz history and culture than we could ever imagine learning.
So his example of even building that space that was a safe space, and now that he's building up the preservation of what came out of that space, that example is that's priceless.
Yeah, and it was especially poignant for me because we had the record store in 1993 with our record label. I recorded Winston Walls and Jack McDuff first night at the Serengeti, where we had to carry B3s up 2 flights of stairs because there was no elevator at the Serengeti. But so then to come back and actually get to meet Bill was just beyond a pleasure. It was just an honor. And yeah, we've loved every minute of it. So it doesn't really seem like we're volunteering. It seems like we're being lucky and we're getting something. So
It's important to hang on to collections like Bill Foster's, because not only does it document that time, but it also gives another generation shoulders to stand on. So it's instructive also about how you help your community. If you don't have something that's in your community that your community needs, then go build it. And that's what Bill did. We gain our humanity through the arts. We learn to be together. We learn how we're all networked together. Detroit is like a one-on-one, 1 degree of separation space because everybody is so related and we know ourselves. If that collection did not exist, there would be such devastation, and you wouldn't even know that you were devastated if that collection did not exist.
and one additional thing is, so if you use AI will give you a lot of information based on what's already on the internet. Well, this Bill's been doing, like going back to Bill, He's 97. He's been doing this since the 30s. Unless you get this stuff documented and digitally, AI is of no use. And many times, I think if you go on AI, if you know something about the subject you're looking at, you realize, wait a minute, it's incomplete. It's incomplete because before the internet, if you haven't put it in there. So doing this kind of digital rescue or physical rescue, getting it digitized, getting it in the internet is crucial so that future generations can have a good view of what went on. Because without it, you're just not going to know.
And you get the real, true story, not just word of mouth. It's the real thing.
Being a recipient of Bill's gift has really helped the Detroit Sound Conservancy because we were first an organization that was built on salvage. We went out and saved stuff, that was in jeopardy. And that was how we were known in the community. But Bill's collection being deposited at Detroit Sound Conservancy opens up a whole new era. We are an organization now that is open and very helpful to saving people's heritage and their legacy, for the generations to come. And Bill's collection is showing our turning point. We are a community archive. You should come and be a part of this magic that's happening, and know that your efforts are saving and promoting the voice of the people who live here. Why not be involved in something that magnificent, to save a people's voice that has been underrepresented everywhere across the country. And we are the only music archives that is professional and here in the city of Detroit. We would love if you participated in Detroit Sound Conservancy during this end of year time. This is a very good time that you can donate anything you like, time, money, and it's very good. It's the season of giving. It's the season of we're wrapping up things and seeing where we are and getting ready to go into the next year. This is the perfect time to make a donation to Detroit Sound Conservancy. So I hope you will consider doing that too.